Hello friends, my beginner students always ask me if we have to give a plain color wash, whether they should apply water first or they should directly apply the paint. So I am going to demonstrate to you these two methods, and in the third one I will demonstrate dry brushing. So let's get going. So I'll keep this paper aside for a while and bring the palette here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use scarlet red color, and I'm going to prepare a large quantity of color here. And what we will do is the same color we will utilize for both the cases. Which both cases? Number one case without giving a plain wash of water, this is, and number two with plain. So this is, I'm taking this scarlet red color, and substantial amount of pigment I am mixing it up so that it is sufficient for both the experiments, and the same quantity of pigment and color. That idea is that. So I will utilize my spray bottle to add some water here. It should not be short, otherwise our experiment will have different variables. Idea is to have same pigment. Now this is, I'm thoroughly mixing it up with water. Good. So whatever is the intensity now, the same intensity we'll utilize for both the cases. I think this is good enough. Nicely uniformly mixed up. So now this I will keep aside, and I will be using this. The paper back here. Water is also not necessary as of now. Alright. So I'll go ahead with the first wash without any water addition. So maybe I'll put it inclined a bit so that any excess color will drip down. Nice and smooth wash. Great. So this is without water. So I'll wash my brush in the water. Now I will clean the brush. I will take another glass of water. So this is an experiment, so I should be showing you everything, right? And I will give a nice glaze. Water should not be excess, but it should be having a nice glaze. A little bit of. So are we able to see that? Yeah, you can see that, right? It is shining. See, look at the plain water wash. Nice and plain. I'll just see that entire paper is covered. The advantage of giving a wash like this, of course, for the newcomers, is that normally you get a very nice and plain smooth wash. Of course, here also I got it because of my experience, but inexperienced people can use this, but there is a disadvantage. I will show you that. So right now I am using the same pigment, taking the brush fully loaded, and I am going to paint it on this little bit inclined paper. Allow it to smooth go down. Right. So actually I am requiring much less pigment because already there is a water. This way you get much smoother washes, especially when you are new, you can do this. But as I said, there is a disadvantage, and that disadvantage is because of the earlier presence of water. In this case, you may find it finally drying much lighter as compared to this. That is what I wanted to bring out. So wash the brush again. Now what is happened is, here in the corner a little more water pigment has accumulated, so I am just trying to pick it up like that, and cleaning the brush on the damp towel, and again picking it, just touch, not much, otherwise it will create some patches here. Here also I will pick it up. Right. So these are two washes we have given. Experiment number 1 without plain water wash beforehand, and this is with the plain water wash before. And now the same thing, I will use a flat brush and with the same color. Actually here the color is not, the demonstration is not for color. Here idea is to give dry brush on dry surface, dry on dry. So right now you will say it is wet, but I am going to make it partially wet by removing excessive pigment and try to give it on this. See what happens. Let us see. See, again taking some color, cleaning it on the towel, so can you see the grains of the paper and the semi-wet, semi-dry brush gives some kind of a texture here. So this kind of a painting technique is also used in some of the paintings, like for example you want to paint a cement concrete structure. Good. So finally what are we concluding? We are concluding that without water, with the same intensity of pigment, you get a much stronger wash. In this case the pigment got diluted because of the earlier layer of the water, and of course this is the dry brushing for creating textures. Now these kind of washes, either this one, are typically used for giving wash to the sky or the green pastures. For newcomers this is easier, but it finally renders lighter, and then you may have to give one more layer on this, which is little tricky because it damages or affects the lower paint layer as well. So best is to give this, but for that you may require a practice. So let us see how this has turned out to be. Yes. Thanks for joining. I post watercolor painting videos for beginners every Tuesday and Friday. So please do join.